Okay, let's try this again. Uh, how you guys doing? My name is Nathan Brown. I am in Criminal Justice 315 course online. I am currently trying to get my bachelor's degree entirely online while I work a full-time job to one day hopefully be a successful law enforcement official. I chose my topic on drones, uh, unmanned drones. First off, before we get to the unmanned drones, the book describes technology as the most basic level. It's just a tool. Any tool that you need or is used to help you get a job done, help you better, make things more sufficient, quicker, things like that. So, technology, definitely you'd have to think of drones when you think of technology, especially when it comes to law enforcement. There are a wide variety of these drones, especially used in different law enforcement. You have different shapes, different sizes. They have different configurations and characteristics. There are some of them can fly a little bit higher than others. So total, you just have to check it out. There's so many different videos and everything like that of all the different technology and technological advanced drones that they have out there. Um, Historically, drones were simply remotely piloted aircrafts, but autonomous control is increasingly becoming employed, especially throughout law enforcement and military. Military probably a little more advanced as far as the capabilities and different things like that of the drones, but definitely it's starting to become more useful in law enforcement and used all around. Little snags here and there as far as privacy and stuff like that, campaigns, but hopefully everyone will realize that these are definitely gonna help us more than they are gonna work against us. First off, an unmanned aerial vehicle, that's UAV, is commonly known as a drone, is an aircraft without a human board, with a human on board. Its flight is controlled either independently by computers in the vehicle or under the remote control of a pilot on the ground in another vehicle. The typical launch and recovery method, or pop and stop, is what it's more commonly referred to, of an unmanned aircraft is by the function of an automatic system or an external operator on the ground. Um, Drones are deployed predominantly for military and special operations applications, but are now, like I said, being used in a small but growing number of civil applications such as policing and firefighting, and non-military security work as well, such as surveillance of pipelines and stuff like that. Drones are often preferred for missions that are too dull, dirty, or dangerous for a manned aircraft. So, like I said, you have buildings that fell down or something like that. You want to send in a drone and have everybody check it out first, and have them check the drones check it out before you send in your firefighters or law enforcement people and put them in harm's risks. Um, Drones are powerful surveillance tool that can be used to gather extensive data about your activities. The public needs to know about why they're being used, I guess, is what they're fighting for. But they are definitely being used for our benefit and not against us. So the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, issued special permits to companies such as Raytheon, General Atomics, Telford Aviation, and Honeywell to test new drones. But law enforcement agencies in at least 5 states requested permission to fly drones over the past several years. So, like I said, it's becoming more and more popular to law enforcement as far as these drones are concerned. In Little Rock, Arkansas, for example, the police department has a drone called the Rotomotion SR-30. It's a small power field helicopter that can carry day zoom cameras, infrared cameras, nighttime vision cameras, and it records both audio and video. It's designed to track objects, is what its main purpose is. Um, Though drones have been used by the military for decades, they are still relatively new in law enforcement in the U.S. The models used by police are smaller and unarmed, weigh less than 55 pounds, and maneuvered from the ground through a computer or a joystick, kind of like playing a video game back in the old days. Um, their range varies from a few hundred to several hundred feet in altitude to several thousand feet in altitude, I'm sorry. And their price range is from 5,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the capabilities of the aircraft and the unmanned drone in itself. Um, Though drones have been used in the military, they're still, like I said, hugely becoming, vastly becoming popular in law enforcement, such as the drones in Seattle and Miami. They're equipped with video cameras capable of taking daytime and nighttime video. And also they have drones used in Texas for public safety reasons. As financially strapped Munich capabilities add drones to their crime-fighting arsenal, they are facing increasing questions about the vehicle's safety as well as potential to violate citizens' privacy. We get back to the privacy aspect of it. People are worried that their privacy is being violated here. They are being watched unethically and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not like they're just sending these things out to go watch you while you're hanging out at your house or this or that. They are surveying public areas, stuff like that, in order just to, whether you say you have an accident, there's a thing, and they'll send the drone out. It's not like they're just roaming around your neighborhood. Like, it's just this everyday thing. So if people would understand that, I think they'd be less against it. Law enforcement officials say the unmanned aircraft helps putting police in the line of fire, either by performing surveillance close to the ground like a live officer or by monitoring from high up, removing pilots from potential danger. Earlier this year, a police helicopter in Los Angeles had to make an emergency landing after it was shot down by a gunman. So had that helicopter not been manned, then they wouldn't have had to have that emergency landing. And in turn, that pilot's life wouldn't have never been put in danger in the first place. About 2 years ago, a Predator drone was summoned into action to spy on a North Dakota farmer who allegedly refused to return half a dozen of his neighbors' cows that had strayed from his pastures. So the farmer engaged in a crazy standoff with the Forks SWAT team. The local authorities decided to call on their friends of the Homeland Security Department, DHS, and deploy a multi-million-dollar unarmed drone to go survey the family and his farmer. The little family noticed August 2011 incident that, which it ended peacefully actually, was a watershed moment for Americans. It was one of the first known times an unmanned vehicle, a UAV, owned by the U.S. government, was used against civilians for local police work. Since then, the Washington Guardian has confirmed that DHS and its Customs and Border Protection Agency has deployed drones originally bought to guard Americans' borders to assist local law enforcement and other federal agencies on several occasions. Local police departments from Canada border all the way to the Midwest to Mexico confirmed they have also sent out things where they want their want to be summoned for drones to help them in local police matters, ranging in service of arrest warrants or unarmed standoffs. Local commanders, in fact, said that the DHS and CPB encourage the use of drones to give its unmanned pilots training opportunities, and they argue the collaboration and deployments have helped save many lives. One of the smaller San Diego upstart drone companies, Datron, sees a bright future for small drones that weigh fewer than 4 pounds sometimes. So that's super small considering the capabilities these things can do. The name of the thing is Scout. It flies for 20 minutes and provides real-time color videos needed to assist law enforcement agencies on their daily jobs. So these are just a few instances where these drones have been used throughout law enforcement to help keep gentlemen out of the law enforcement officials out of harm's way, and both to do necessary surveillance of a crime scene, not necessarily a crime scene, but just of a scene in itself to get the surveillance needed to make the conviction of a crime, such as the gentleman with the cows. Because technology is changing. The rate of change in technology over the recent years is so fast that one can reasonably suggest 10 of the jobs today, 10 years down the road from now, might not even exist because it would be taken over by technology, and say a computer or something would be doing that person's job. Technology is changing the way police departments operate. It's changing them, the grants that are formatted and requested for the operating budget. Um, Technologies that were funded for today were not even common knowledge just a few years ago. So it just goes to show you how fast things are happening, including these drones that were just a few years ago just military and stuff like that, and now they're being used for law enforcement and civil, so even smaller securities. But like I said, the people are fighting it. But I feel like if we just get the word out there and let them know what that it's definitely benefiting the people that more than it is taking away their privacy and their rights. So that's about it for me. Hope you guys learned a little bit about drones. They're definitely an interesting topic, vast topic. 10 minutes is definitely not enough time to get it covered, but if you got any more questions, feel free to get back at me. Hope you guys learned something.